And welcome to Lidditz, Pennsylvania, as we get the girls lacrosse action underway here on Blue Ridge 11 this spring. And it is Garden Spot and Warwick over on the brand new turf field here at the Warwick High School complex. Thanks for joining us tonight. Chad Landers here alongside Shannon Miscavige. A bit blustery here in Lidditz, setting a new precedence as we kind of dawn our coverage here at this new field.
Yes, blustery indeed.
Blustery, chilly.
We are field level. We can see everything.
It's nowhere near the 80-degree temps that we were seeing last week, so hope you're dressing warm the next two nights for lacrosse action if you're coming out. We will have that both today and tomorrow for you. Tonight, Garden Spot Spartans coming in Section 2 with new head coach Cameron Shoebridge, a 2017 grad from New Holland, so kind of in charge of her old program here. Been a slow start for her, Shanna. She did say to us pregame, kind of got a late start to the program, but things are starting to kind of gain some ground here. Your thoughts on our discussion with Cameron earlier today?
Well, first of all, it's super hard to come in as a first-year head coach. You don't know, think about the system they were playing before, how they were coached, what kind of mentality they have when they move the ball up the field as they transition both ways. And not only was she hired a week before the season started, so in addition to learning their style of play, learning, what level of skill they're at, how they play together as a team, she's just learning names week one. Okay? So that's an extremely tough task. She's young. She coached previously at Lancaster Bible College, played there as well, so she's got the experience, and she's got a really great core to mold. She's got some senior leadership, but she's got a really strong sophomore and junior class, and this will be a totally different matchup. We're already in the second round of section play since we're back to two sections this year, first time in, my gosh, probably a decade. And so Warwick's going to see a different Garden Spot team. They've got 4 or 5 weeks under their new coach, 4 or 5 weeks in their new system, and she's seen that progress incrementally.
All right, we're about ready to go. You can see how bundled up the referees are here for today's game. Not used to seeing them all decked out in coats, but we will start things off underway here. First half, and Warwick immediately seizes control of the action here. And we'll try and set up the offense as Grace Krall, sophomore here, number 25, has really been a bright spot for these Warriors to start off the season. Of course, some senior veteran names on this squad as well. Inside here, nice pass. Bardo puts one home about 30 seconds into the game. Senior Julia Bardo receiving a pass from senior Paige Shepard, and right on cue, the veteran leadership on this team stepped up, Shanna.
Well, women's lacrosse, you win the draw, you win the game. That's the old adage. They get control, move the ball down into their offensive end. Really nice pass inside to Bardo. She does a nice job of shooting behind the keeper, doesn't shoot right at her, shoots to space. Warriors took their time, didn't rush it, found the right pass inside. And we talked to Coach Jeans before the game. He said the one thing they wanted to focus on as they move into the second half of the season, capitalizing when they're inside their 8-meter arc. They're out shooting their opponents, and they're losing really close 1-goal games, 2-3-goal games. So they're putting it together. They just need to capitalize when they're in their offensive end.
Well, you said something about not panicking. Boy, they really did just nicely move the ball inside, real close on net, and were able to put one home early. Got to be a good feeling. Get yourself in the lead, get the offense going here, and kind of see how the game develops.
Well, there's moments, when the fast break works and you find the right seam, you got to take advantage of an up number situation. But early in the game, you may not want to push tempo so much, figure out their defense, try to find any weaknesses.
There was a shot by Shepard, went long. Warwick got possession back, but a turnover here. And we'll see what the Garden Spot Spartans have.
That was an example of them forcing it just a little bit. That pass was high. I think they were looking for Bardo again inside. Of course, again, turnover coming back the other way.
Oh, a lot of contact there as the whistle's blown. Bardo hits the turf.
We'll take another look. It's a fine line here. The defense has to be out and be set. You never want to initiate contact. You have to let the attacker initiate.
Well, and Bardo makes him pay right there. 2 quick goals out of the gate for Julia Bardo. She has the Warriors ahead 2-0, and it does seem like this offense for Warwick, if they can control possession, they're going to have a good day.
Now control the ball, control the game. If you don't give Garden Spot an opportunity, really, really nice placement again from Bardo. Again, she's really loving that far post. Miller, is certainly having to put her body in front of it, but Bardo is able to find the seam right on the post. And again, that's a great example of, we talked to Coach Jeans before the game, capitalizing on the opportunity. If you've got an 8-meter, you've got the advantage. You've got to get that ball home.
That's 3 restarts for the Warriors, and they've come away with it. Bardo's just going to go right in. She's feeling it. Nice block there by Miller, though, in cage. So that prevents Bardo from scoring 3 goals in the first couple of minutes here. But Warwick maintains possession, Shanna.
Great save by Miller, stepped right into it, got her stick on it, bounces it wide. Again, you're seeing a lot of movement, good patience from the Warriors here as they set it up top, outside the 12. Which I think all the women's lacrosse lines are red.
Oh, there was some contact in there. You could see the offensive player kind of dance through there. Grace Rothenberger.
Probably, I missed the hand signal from the referee, probably a dangerous check, had to come across her body.
All right, so number 8, Grace Rothenberger here, getting ready to restart. She's gonna have a clear path to the net. 2 defenders crash, she puts it home. 3-0 Warwick, and we talked to Coach Jeans, he's got to be very happy with the start for his club here.
For sure, I mean, they're definitely setting the tone early. Really, really nice change of a level here from Rothenberger. You can see her goes back to her strong side, shoots across her body, does a nice job of kind of avoiding that defender and making sure she's not putting it into Miller's stick, looking for that space behind her. 3 draw controls, 3 goals for the Warriors.
Oh yeah, there you go. Controlling the game off of the draw control. Here it comes Warwick again. That's Grace Kral, number 25. She's a sophomore. Grace Rothenberg, who just scored, she's a sophomore. So you can see some nice young talented players here. Also some veterans as well for the Warriors.
Good defense there from the Spartans, able to get that help, keep Warwick's attack outside.
Kral behind the net along with Paige Shepard. Big cluster of white shirts out top. They're going to let Kral go at herself. Whistle on the play.
As soon as you start to see those white jerseys piling up at the top of the 12, you know isolation is coming. It's just a matter of when and who.
Looks like Kral's going to get it here with an attempt to shoot it on net. Sets up a long one and fires the laser in. Warriors all over it right now, 4-0. Just a few minutes into this ball game.
Oh, you knew she wasn't going to take steps and finesse it in when you saw where she had her stick behind her body, looking for pure power. Shoots across cage, far post. Ooh, sorry, that was near post actually. Squeaks it in between Miller and the post. Really, really nice goal.
So Kral and Bardo were tied for the team lead in goals coming in. Bardo has 2. Kral now has 1, so it does seem like Bardo just a tad ahead of her, but nonetheless, those are your 2 major goal scorers for this Warwick team, who are currently 3-7 on the season, so looking to add on some more wins here the second time through the schedule.
Kral and Bardo are on the board, but you've got to give the credit to Brooke Petrella, who's taking the draw. She's got 5 draw controls.
That one skips through. The Garden Spot is there. They haven't gotten it much past midfield yet today, so we'll see how they go here. Some connections, some connecting passes, and they will get an offensive series here.
Good decision by the Spartans. You know, it was a little bit of a transition ball, 50-50 balls in the midfield until they get possession, but no need to push the pace, right? They just need to kill some clock, get a really good offensive possession in here, and get on the board.
Some numbers to keep an eye on. Number 3, Gwen Varley, one of the leading scorers on this team. A lot of
great defense from the Warriors. Lots of help here.
Shot and score. And was that Varley right on cue, number 3? So she gets Garden Spot on the board.
Goal number 3, Gwen Varley.
And you see if Garden Spot gets a chance to possess, they put it home.
Really nice take by Varley here. She can feel the defense kind of collapsing on her, gets the shot off, goes low on Mirig. That's a tough shot. You're following the ball. Obviously, they're kind of moving it all over the place, changing levels with it, and you've got to keep your eye on it, get your stick down to the ground.
So
Good placement.
That's goal number 51 for Gwen Varley this year. She had 46 goals and 8 assists last year as an all-star for this team. She's a junior this year and is lighting things up.
Pacing herself for sure.
Yeah, she is certainly a good asset for Coach Shoebridge.
And a credit to her. I mean, like I said, it was a good take to goal. I mean, Warriors defense are a bunch of upperclassmen, really tough to beat. They were collapsing. They were doing the right things. She just found the lane.
I thought Bardo going to go in on net here. Some nice contact from the defense. It looked like for a second Garden Spot was going to let Bardo just cruise right down the center, but right at the end, the defense stepped up.
I think that was Milani Lai for the Spartans. Did a really nice job of getting her stick on it. Not dangerous.
Here's
away
Kroll.
From the body.
Shoots, scores for Kroll. Has put her second one home back-to-back for the Warriors. So they answer right back there to Garden Spot's goal.
Warrior goal number 25, Grace Kroll.
It's a great response. You always say kind of that first 2 minutes after a goal is scored, you want to see what your team does if you're Coach Jeans, and he got the right response again. Kroll just using that power coming across her body. You can tell as soon as she gets it back off behind her shoulder, it's a coming.
So that's 2 in the game for Kroll. Bardo also has 2, so they should both be at 25 goals apiece here for the season, which if you add that up is how many Gwen Varley has herself for the season, so you can see just how ridiculous of a number that 51 spot is.
Garden Spot has not yet won a draw. Petrella doing a tremendous job for the Warriors.
Well, that pass looks like it's going to sail high and over the sideline. That'll go over to the Spartans. We'll see what they can do here. Potentially getting a second opportunity on offense. Catherine Pierce, number 24, had it coming in, but going back over to the Warriors.
And when we did talk to Coach Shoebridge before the game, she said in the last game that her team did not start
against Warwick.
It was a slow start. First half they didn't play well. Second half they definitely outpaced them, but they couldn't overcome the gap. So certainly not the start that she was hoping for. But in girls lacrosse, you can rack them up pretty quickly. We saw Warwick do it in the first few minutes. Not to say that if the Garden Spot Spartans can't kind of find their footing, get a few defensive stops, they'd be right back in this thing.
That first contest was a 19-11 win by Warwick. Whistle on the play. See what they decide to go with here.
I think they called shooting space. I'm not totally sure. That's going to be maybe across the body. You kind of saw that contact. As soon as that stick comes across from the other shoulder.
And Brooke Petrella goes through the 5-hole to put that one home. A new name in the scorebook. It's 6-1 in favor of Warwick right now.
Again, another 8-meter shot gives you the advantage. I mean, you as a defender, you can only come in from the side with your stick, and that's right at the top. Really nice placement there. Again, we're seeing the Warriors have done a great job of placing the ball. They're not shooting at Miller's chest, not shooting at her stick. They're making her put her body in front of it and try to get a deflection, and she has not been able to do that yet this evening.
Hey, that's a smart move, and it is working for them. And a timeout is called, trying to get things regrouped here with 17:46. We can take a look at the previous goal scored here from behind.
Again, really good power, has her stick up high to protect it, make sure nobody can get a check off on it. Right down to the ground again, hard for a keeper. You're trying to track the ball. You see the follow through. Try to get your stick down, snap, at least deflect it down. But really, really nice placement from the Warriors so far this evening.
So Shannon and I had a conversation with Coach Jeans. He talked about those real close losses. If you look at their schedule, they have at least 3 games losing by a goal, one losing by 2, and then another handful losing by 3 or 4. So he was talking about just those close margins, and if you could somehow turn those losses into wins with those close margins, your record looks a whole lot better. But currently right now sitting at 3-7 and 2-4 in league play. Of course, Lampeter Strasbourg, Shanna, as you know very well, a solid lacrosse team. They are 6-0 in the section. Cocalico girls 5-1 right behind them, followed by E-Town, Warwick, Garden Spot, and Lancaster Country Day. So it does seem like some of the usual suspects are setting up here for the run at the Section 2 crown.
Well, and Chad, you talked about it, one possession makes the difference, and that's exactly what they've done tonight. They've possessed the ball. And in some of those situations, Cocalico, for instance, that game was 11-10. That's one 8-meter shot that you capitalize on.
Yeah.
That ties the game, right? And so it's little things, and that's the advantage of bringing back the 2-section format this year for the first time in a number of years. I think last year might have been 2013. I might have still been coaching.
I think you're right. Yeah, when I looked at, I just wanted to refresh myself on who has done what in girls lacrosse, and it was Manheim Township winning it for the past 12 years, but you're right, they did go to one section about 2013, 2014, so it has been almost a decade since they've been in these separated sections.
And for both of these teams, that are progressing each week, each game, games like this, the second opportunity, Warwick against a Cocalico, who knows what that outcome is going to be.
Well, that game will be coming up on Wednesday, right on cue from you. So, yeah, this is if you're Warwick, got to try and get a win here, and then got to see what you can do against Cocalico there. Again, we've mentioned Cocalico having a pretty good season at 5-1 in the section, 6-3 overall. We will have the Lady Eagles on later in the season, so that'll be fun to see them towards the end. Not sure who we have. Maybe an LS. No, we have Garden Spot, the same Garden Spot team going against Cocalico later in the season, so we'll get to see that matchup in a few weeks. In a few weeks, we'll be talking playoffs, Shanna. That's how fast this season goes.
It is. Spring sports is always a time warp. For the first 3 weeks of preseason, feel like they last an eternity.
That's because they're cold and miserable in Pennsylvania.
Yeah, well, sometimes the rest of the season. I'll tell you what, I never had a season where it was 80 degrees the first week of April. I can tell you that.
Yeah. There was a shot attempt in there on Merrick, who deflected it nicely, the freshman in cage, and then a foul and a turnover there. Warriors have the ball back. Should mention that usual starting goalkeeper Mia Pouts for Warwick injured, so freshman Jordan Merrick, number 99 in there.
That's a big task. It's a big change of pace in play and tempo coming up from JV to start on varsity.
Or for that matter, from junior high to, as a freshman, right?
Yeah, that one too.
So, but hey, we'll see how she does today. Hasn't faced a ton of shots, has Merrick. Here comes Warwick, just kind of cruising down the sideline. Allie Shepard, one of those seniors we talk about on the team.
Really, really nice control from her to carry it the whole way. Couldn't find the right dish to retreat back to her defensive end, so she carried it up the whole way. Did a nice job protecting her body. Using her body, I should say, to protect the ball.
There's Paige Shepard, dumped it off to Keeney inside. Loose scramble, Garden Spot has it. Really being hounded as the Spartans try to bring it out, though. There's an errant pass. Warwick trying to pick it up. And I think they do.
Yep.
Izzy Rudy.
A lot of 50-50 balls in the midfield. Warriors have done a really nice job of taking care of it in their offensive end, but we've seen kind of that transition back and forth a little bit go either way.
Well, that whistle will give the ball back to the Spartans here, and here they come as they'll try and set up the offense, down 6-1, about just under 15 to go in this first half. Spin move. Varley goes low, can't get it to go. Took a hit there, but Garden Spot rather keeps possession.
I could be aging myself with this term, shovel shot. Generally not recommended.
No.
But she saw the opportunity, and it was a strong take to cage. They maintained possession, so not all is lost.
Well, they tried to pass it in there to Varley, who's pretty easy to pick out with the fluorescent neon hair tie. So I appreciate that, Gwen.
Looks like she's limping a little bit.
Well, that's not something. Oh, she's got to go down
go
here.
Down.
That is not something you want to see.
No.
I don't think the referees see it. Here is an open look for Garden Spot on net. Shot score by the Spartans. And I think that was Brielle Moyer, number 19, that perhaps got in there to score.
Really, really nice take to cage from Moyer. She does a great job, throws a little dodge in there, gets Mir to bite. You can see her there, pump once. She steps out, puts it right in behind her and goes low. Really, really nice placement, strong take to cage from Brielle.
We were watching Varley trying to figure out what was going on with her. First she had taken a knee, then had gotten up, tried to run it off. She is now leaving the field, and then all of a sudden, Moyer had stepped in and intercepted the pass, took it right on net, scored. That is goal number 25 for Moyer. She's the second leading goal scorer on this team. Hopefully Varley is okay and can return to this game. Garden Spot's certainly going to need her. As they trail 6-2 now, here come the Warriors. Looks like a foul there, and we might get a card coming out.
Yeah, that's going to be on Moyer. That was dangerous.
There it is.
As Petrella was moving down the field. Again, you've got that little sphere. That's officially a slashing, I think is the term.
She went, yeah, kind of.
You've got a little bubble around your head, and if you
Go ahead.
check into it, I was trying to think of the word, the terminology I wanted to use.
You could take a nasty swipe at it.
yeah, okay, that is a little, remember, women's lacrosse is about finesse.
I've had 2 weeks of guys lacrosse where they're just
force.
absolutely knocking the stuffing out of one another.
Exactly. Now, don't get me wrong. When I was in high school and I was playing, did I wish for a little bit of that? Sure.
Scrum in front of the net here by both teams. A whistle will give things to Garden Spot.
Contact is best used to your advantage.
Oh, you got to be careful there, as the referee had not restarted things yet. And it looked like Anna Hess came crashing down on a stick. The restart will go to the Spartans. Almost intercepted there nicely by the Warriors.
Really nice step from Shannon English. She read that pass beautifully, almost got the turnover. Spartans still on the move.
All right, they'll try and set things up. Looks like Moyer and Varley are off the turf at this point, so the Spartans will have to find some alternative offense here.
Card's 2 minutes. So again, Garden Spot's just trying to maintain, kill this card, get back to man even. Warwick putting pressure on the ball. Haven't sent a second defender because, again, they've got man free inside.
Oh, that pass hit the Spartan player in the head as it was coming in. Loose ball. Warwick comes away with it. They'll come the other way. Hannah Burkholder, number 22 here, and is fighting a little bit of contact there on the sideline. Very rough out of number 26, Olivia Backus.
The second foul, the restart was, but the first contact was great. Using the sideline, you can see her there, trying to keep her outside, using the sideline as a second defender, and again, they're just trying to kill this card until they're back to man even. Don't want to give up a goal, down numbers.
Yeah, well, charging in hard there. A little bit of a shovel shot, if you will, from Krull. And adds another one to the tally for herself and for the Warriors. It's 7-2.
25, Grace Krull.
Strong take from Krull, does a nice job, comes back across her body once she knows that that defender's behind her. She's got some space open. A little bit of a shovel shot there as well, goes low. Listen, maybe the coaching has changed. All I know is that now, and again, I was on the defensive end, but if I saw one of my players whip out a shovel shot, I wasn't a happy camper.
All right.
But you know, the game may have passed me by. Not to age myself.
Did Jordan Page play lacrosse at all? Or
No.
just straight field hockey?
Nope. All field hockey all the time, baby.
I was just curious if someone could tell her not to do a shovel shot, since she is a goal-scoring machine.
And as a coach, it's always one of those things, too, where you're on the sideline going, no, and then they score,
Right.
yes.
Love seeing those.
No, yes.
All right,
I came
again.
out of my mouth a few times. More than I'd like to admit.
Burkholder again.
Garden Spot is back to even numbers, by the way.
Okay. Well, Warwick's offense still seems to be operating pretty efficiently. Nice little dish inside. Shepard could not quite connect. Boy, it looks like Warwick sometimes will get in there and really feel the contact and will kind of just quickly get out of the shooting area. And you could see slashing over the top there by the Spartans as Rothenberger was heading in to try and shoot.
That was tough because that's one of those checks that's there for about a split second. And if you don't make it at that exact moment, it's going to be a foul when you do it. You can see it. It's hanging, right? And then all of a sudden they move it towards their body, and that's when you swing, and that's the foul.
So Rothenberger didn't really have anywhere to go there, decided to pass it off. Kral has it. Inside, Burkholder, she still has it.
That was an unbelievable feed from Kral down low inside. Yeah. Great feed. Burkholder, smart to pull it out. I mean, that's one of those things where you pull it back across your body. You can see yourself scoring the goal off an insane dish inside. Smart play there from Burkholder.
A lot of speed here, crashing in. Saved. That's a nice one. That was point blank range right there and able to shut it down for Miller.
Second save of the night, and it's an important one. 8-2 looks a lot different than 7-2.
Yeah, it looked like that was Anna Hess just really cruising right down the middle. Nonetheless, here come the Spartans. I think that's Varley with it.
It is.
So it's nice to see her back out here.
Looks like she's wearing a brace on that ankle, and there was a lot of contact down there. There was a 50-50 ball when she kind of started stumbling, so hopefully her ankle's okay.
Still with it, going all the way around. Yeah, able to really plant on it for now.
Trying to find that mismatch up top. Warwick's defense is doing a great job of just sticking. Not opening up a lot of lanes inside, which is exactly what she's looking for. Really nice defense there from the Warriors.
There was some contact. Shot, score. Wow, just like that. The connection. Varley to Moyer. It's a nice one.
Garden Spot really patient here. Work the ball around their 8 and 12 a bunch until she finally finds Moyer inside. A heck of a feed from Varley. She was looking to take herself, trying to find that mismatch. Puts it right to where only Moyer can catch it. Moyer does a nice job of turning her body, getting square to the cage.
Went low with the shot. Beat the keeper. 7-3. Warwick in front. Spartans making a little bit of a run here after 4 straight goals for the Warriors. They've answered with 3 to keep it at a 4-goal deficit. Kral in there, comes away with the loose ball. Varley hit the turf. Kral just trying to find an avenue towards the goal. We'll dish it off to Bardo, who opened up the scoring for the Warriors today. Nice little pass from behind. Ooh, contact, whistle.
I'm not sure.
That was Paige Shepard, who just came flying in from behind the net. And then a Spartan defender stepped in her path.
Not much of an advantage because they'll back her out to the floating hash.
Rothenberger with it here. Back to Shepard. She'll dash in, shoot high, and it's a goal. So Shepard gets on the scoreboard for the Warriors, and they're now up 8-3.
Goal number 9.
Strong take to cage. You can see her change hands. She comes back across her body, goes far post with it. Just at the right spot again. Really precise shooting from Warwick tonight. Doing a great job placing it, really making Miller work, and she just hasn't been able to get a stick or her body in front of it so far.
So that seemed like a bit of a tough angle for the keeper to really track Shepard. How hard is that from a defensive point of view, and then as a keeper to have the offensive player come from behind and then really shoot it as quickly as she gets in your face there?
Well, from a defensive player, as soon as you give up the inside, you're in trouble.
Okay.
There's a 75% chance they're going to score a goal. Unless they hang it, you can get a check off. It's not dangerous. You know, get a little bit of a reset and bring your defense back. Once you give up the inside, you're pretty much toast, for lack of a better term.
Well,
from a keeper standpoint, I mean, I don't really personally think there's any angle that, unless you're at the top of the 8, right? Because you can see it coming straight on, you can track it. But you're trying to track the ball, track the defender, because here's the deal. You're on the ball, but there's always the possibility they could dish it off backside and backdoor you.
Yeah.
You know, there's a lot you got to keep pace on.
Oh, Bartow took a shove at the end there, slams it home. She hit the turf, but she'll add another to her tally, making it 9-3 Warwick. Wait till you see the kind of the contact at the tail end of this play, Shanna, as Bartow puts another one home.
Well, as an attacker, you're always going to run the risk here. That was abrasive. I was not expecting that. And they're just trying to get their bodies in front of it, push her outside, trying to take away that forward angle. But that was quite an impact there.
Now, fortunately, she's not injured by that, and good sportsmanship there from Garden Spot to help her up as well. Love to see that. And
kudos to Bartow sticking through it. I mean, she saw the defender coming. She knew contact was going to happen. The defender does do it. I mean, ultimately, though, she initiates that, right? Because she's continuing on that path.
Which one? The
Bartow. And that's from a defensive standpoint, that's what you want to do. You have to let them initiate contact. As soon as you put your arms out and you put, your stick on their body, you're going to get called every time.
Well, here's Bartow again. Took another whack there. She's okay. We'll slow things down. Trying to speed things back up here, but her defender is doing a nice job
defense
there.
The numbers are hard to see on Garden Spot's uniform, but I think it's Milani Lai.
Very difficult.
I apologize if I'm
Lee, I think it was Lee. I think, Coach Schubert said Milani Lee.
I apologize if I had mispronounced the last name.
But either way, they are incredibly hard to see from our vantage point here. An interesting defensive maneuver there with the stick over the head from Lee.
Oh, just trying to take away that forward space, feeds behind. Again, keep it out to your side. Nice defensive stop there from the Spartans.
Loose ball.
Really good defensive
Bartow
series here.
Digging in, trying to come up with it. Flips it. Oh, just wide.
Looks like Warwick was there first, unless there's a Garden Spot.
I think Shepard was hanging out in the back there. It dinged off the crossbar of the soccer net behind. Crawl in possession with it, trying to survey the cutters. Bartow was there. Tried to take a swinging hack at it. Did not go in.
Great defense. I'm not sure who's on Bartow defensively for Garden Spot.
Right now it looks like 26 or 8 is hanging out
Olivia
with her.
Backus, tremendous defense there from her because Bartow had the angle. She had the advantage, and she did a great job of slowing her down, keeping her out.
Ooh, Shepard goes top shelf as Paige adds another one, and that gives Warwick 10 in the game here in this first half. Keep in mind, the score the first time around between these two was 19-11.
Shepard just using all that power coming back across her body. And again, look at how well placed this ball is, right below the crossbar. Really impressed with the precision of the Warriors shooting on attack tonight.
You've said that a few times, which obviously means it's standing out to you. Hopefully for Coach Jeans, it is standing out to him as well.
Well, from a coaching perspective, when you've got the takes to cage, and I have not seen them play previously, so this could be what he was talking about. When you've got the takes to cage, you've got the lanes, and you're putting, he mentioned they're out shooting their opponents, right? But they're not getting home. This is I have to believe, a really, really good game for them.
Boy, Bartow was really slicing through the defense there, but just too many sticks able to jar it loose. And Garden Spot has it here, trying to move it up the field. It's been a while since they've been on offense. That one will skip over the sideline. Interestingly enough, we are playing on a field with a ton of lines here. Garden Spot at one point earlier in this half had a girl standing out of bounds because I don't think she was just quite aware of exactly where to be on this field, and everyone's kind of learning that as they play on it for the first time. Garden Spot's lacrosse team first time on this field ever.
Well, and I think sidelines and restraining lines Moyer's down as well, are orange, but the 8s and the circles inside are red.
They're close in tone, come on. They've all got something to do with each other on the color wheel.
That's a stretch.
Listen, I don't make up the colors of the lines here.
Yeah.
It looks like the soccer lines are yellow for sure, so. But then there's also orange lines, maybe for the boys as well. So there's a lot of lines on this field. Let's just establish that. Here's Bartow. Shoots low that time. It does look like they made a change in keeper, by the way. Yeah, and I think perhaps Garden Spot has gone to Olivia Scarl. Made a change after the 10 goals by Warwick here in the first half.
Number 16, Julia
Bardo puts home her 4th of the game. So she's having a nice first half.
Offensively, just a really strong first half for the Warriors. Again, she changes her hand, comes back across her body, and again, this one, low, far post. Really, really tough stop to make if you're a keeper, and they're doing a really nice job of just choosing the right moments to place the ball.
Back in the circle we go. Bardo, boy, just jumps right on it. She's having a great game right now, is Julia Bardo. Look at this, just cruising down the turf field. We'll slow it down this time.
I think Warwick may have also switched off Petrella on draw. We'll keep an eye on that for the next one, but
yeah,
just as dominant.
There was a different player in there for sure. It was not 13.
Again, Warwick's just going to look to find the right pass. No need to push. Lots of motion.
Yeah, running ladies through. 17 pops open. Hess puts it home. You're right. They just kind of ran kind of the motion offense, and then all of a sudden Hess popped wide open.
You're trying to create the mismatch. You're trying to create, that split second that they're open, and Hess does such a nice job of cutting at the right moment. Kral does a really nice job of feeding it at the right time. Again, that's there for a split second. If she hesitates, she misses Hess, misses the opportunity. She's too far past the cage. So just really nice placement across the board for Warwick tonight.
So coming into today, Kral had the team high in assists in 11. She's already had a few here today, so we can kind of see that's kind of her role. When she's not scoring, she is also dishing out assists. So she's a very talented young player for this Warwick team.
Well, and again, they're just, playing unselfishly, right? Find the right player who has the right opportunity. It doesn't have to be you. And not everything has to be power. I mean, obviously, we've seen Kral use it, on 8 meters. She's got her stick back over her shoulder. She's just going to drill it home. But she also can feed a really nice ball inside, and that takes finesse and skill.
And Bardo in there hits the turf again, although at that point, I think it was turning over to Garden Spot.
Ooh, yeah, little incidental trip. Feet got caught up on that 50-50 ball.
Bardo snags it back again, takes the contact, shoots. Warwick maintains possession. It looked like the ref was ready to call a foul there, Shanna, but Warwick maintained possession. Bardo shoots again. She scores and is lighting the scoreboard up here at Warwick's home turf.
They'll hold the whistle if they have the advantage and they can get the shot off, which is exactly what the referee did. She got the shot off, but the second one, woo, buddy. That was going home.
Bardo, impressive out here, has 5 goals in the game. Is really having a nice afternoon or evening, and we're only 1/2 into things. And it does look like our clock will continue to run here now that we've hit the 10 goal differential. So we're cruising into halftime here, under 2 minutes now. Warwick leads at 13-3.
Looks like Warwick's got Olivia Keeney on the draw. Varley on the draw for Garden Spot.
Yeah, and Bardo was kind of back on the circle waiting to crash in. Did exactly that again. She's done that a handful of times so far today. Nice job coming in there for the defender. Just found that opening to knock the ball away, but then whistled for the foul afterwards. Hess saw her score a few minutes ago.
Good patient play from Warwick. Just looking to work this. And again, Garden Spot's going to have to send pressure, and they do. Warwick is in no rush.
No, they really aren't.
They just want to maintain possession, kill the clock a little bit, get some work in around their 8 and their 12. And they're not going to have a ton of games like this left on their schedule where they've got a big enough lead that they can work on some of this.
Shepard behind. Nowhere really to go.
Garden Spot's defense doing a nice job keeping tabs, helping where they can, trying to put a little pressure on the ball carrier to make them make a decision. But as soon as they go, they know that they're opening up their backside, so they've got to be cautious about it.
Here's Bardo Impressive first half already.
Good help defense there from the Spartans.
Under 30 seconds to go in this first half, and it has been Warwick in command, putting 13 goals on the board.
Under 20 seconds here.
Bardo trying to find a seam. Really taking some contact. Whistle blows. Won't stop, though, the clock, so you got to hurry up here if you're Warwick. 4 seconds. Bardo in low, goes high, misses. And that'll be the buzzer for the first half. Warwick Warriors in control of this one, 13-3. We'll step aside when we come back. Recap first half action, get a little breakdown from Shannon Miscavige. You're watching high school girls lacrosse live on Blue Ridge 11. Moments away from restarting this contest in the second half. Warwick Warriors up 10 in this Section 2 matchup. These two teams met earlier in the season already. As Shanna's been pointing out, we're running through these sections with 2 contests, and Warwick won the game at Garden Spot 19-11. Warriors have already put up 13, so they're certainly well on their way towards that 19 mark that they had the first time around. There you see Julia Bartow, one of these seniors for this squad, and she is one of those players that Coach Gene said will kind of be all over the place. And from midfield to the cage, she has really been all over the place. She's been fantastic, really has been impressive here, and we'll see exactly what she can do in the second half, Shanna.
Yeah, we gave Brooke Petrella a ton of credit. I mean, she was on just dominating the draws early in the first half for Warwick. But Bartow comes off the circle and gets whatever Petrella can't. Same with Kral as well. We'll see it here.
Yeah, I like Kral and Bartow both kind of just cleaning things up. Kral kind of hit the brake pedal there so she didn't go out of bounds, and we'll attack here for the Warriors. Looks like the entire starting offense is out here still for the Warriors, so they're going to continue on, try and run through some of their plays.
If you're Coach Shoebridge, again, I mean, she said in the first matchup that her team did not start well in the first half, and then really came to play in the second half. And again, keep in mind, again, I can't stress enough the fact that she got hired a week before the season.
Right.
That is such a daunting task to take on a new team, but to not get an off season to work with them, to kind of get a sense of how they're playing, who works well together, what systems they've been running. And I'm sure that's a new offense, new defensive tactics as well. I mean, that's a lot to implement in a short period of time. So I give credit to her, and I give credit to the girls because they've got to buy in as well.
Well, there's another shot and a score for the Warriors. So they come right out of halftime, ready to go, and put another one home. That is Anna Hess. She didn't do a ton of scoring in the first half, but maybe we'll get some more opportunities here with all eyes on the other goal scorers.
Couple nice dodges as she weaves through. Again, Garden Spot defensively just not able to close that lane totally. Once that lane is established, the attack cannot move through it. So they're finding those seams in between, and Hess did a really nice job of, again, placing the ball, shooting low. Tough to make those low saves. Obviously, you got to snap your stick, get your feet on it if you can. And again, knowing that, good placement from her.
So back to the draw control, and it is Petrella in there, who is a junior here for the Warriors. So another year of her as well. Really like Grace Kral here. She's going to be a nice piece to the puzzle for them for the next few years.
Kral doing a great job of picking up those 50-50 balls. I mean, Petrella's putting it to space, and Kral's winning every one, and that's not a surefire thing. 50-50 balls can be tough. The wrong bounce, and it's going the other way. She's doing a really nice job of picking up those possessions for the Warriors.
Warwick has kept things in their offensive half a lot. I mean, the percentage is very high. And if you can do that, and if you can run your offense pretty efficiently, that is where we are with 14-3 the score.
Warwick
Kral
working a little ISO here. Z Kral all the way out, almost to her 12. Trying to work this 1v1. Nice defense there from Lee.
Yeah, pick the one tough defender that they have in Lee. She really is. She's not afraid to get in there and mix it up. Bardo sneaks in behind the defense and gets another one to go. She kind of came flying out of nowhere and was wide open.
Both Bardo and Hess actually, I think, were open. Both made the same cut. Crawl finds Bardo first. You'll see them both pop.
It looked like Hess put the brakes on so Bardo could get an open shooting lane. That's goal number 6 in the ball game for Julia Bardo. Might have surprised herself there. Went far post, made it a little harder on herself, but nonetheless put it home.
Nice. And again, the Warwick offense has just really been methodical all night, not forcing anything they don't need to, trying some different formations. Again, all of those jerseys out beyond that white. Garden Spot's just trying to keep pace, and they're continually moving. It's hard to stick your man and track the whole way through. Warwick finds Bardo and Hess open as well in that situation.
Crawl able to run one down, and just look at the nice speed out of her. One-on-one here with the defender. Will pull it back to get some more white shirts down. But really, she is a great attacking player for this Warwick team.
And you see how comfortable she is handling her stick, using her body to protect the ball. That's the mark of a great player, and one I'm guessing she plays a lot in the offseason because she's got a really nice handle.
Well, I'd love to see this Warwick and Cocalico team play each other, because Cocalico's got a lot of nice players on their team as well.
And again, second game of the season, that's going to be a really good matchup.
One-on-one give and go move there from Crawl to Shepard. Shepard had it and then was slashed, and the whistle blew. So it does look like
I'm not sure if this was across the body or if it was a hold, because she didn't release very quickly, but it looks like it's probably across the body.
Restart by Shepard. It did look like the keeper got a stick on it, but it ricocheted home. And Shepard will add another one. Oh, and did her stick get broken in half or just get knocked out of her hands?
No, I believe this was a purposeful celebration of sorts. You see the girls chuckling?
Oh, all right.
There you go. There you go. Have a good time, ladies.
In this nice, beautiful weather.
Yeah, this gorgeous 80-degree night. Oh, wait, that's every game that you've done before the first one that I had to commentate.
You chased away our good weather.
And tomorrow night, high of 57.
Coincidentally,
Thank you very
both
much.
Nights you're here. It's below 70.
Who makes this schedule? Get Eric May out here.
No, we don't.
In the bone-chilling temps, okay?
Man, we don't want Eric May because he is a jinx as well. So.
Do you hear that, sir? I know he's watching.
Yeah, he'll be on the channel Friday for that Manheim Central Cocalico showdown on the baseball diamond. So lots to look forward to this week, by the way. We have something every night for you. Girls lacrosse here tonight and tomorrow night. Baseball in Manheim on Wednesday and Friday. And then volleyball, Warwick volleyball. Finally get a chance to see those guys in action against Conestoga Valley on Thursday. Warwick right now in the lead for Section 1 volleyball. So
lots of good stuff going on.
Yeah, it's been fun. It's been a fun month.
Oh, is it 80 degrees? Did that temperatures really help it along as well?
I don't know.
I can't relate.
Those are hit or miss sometimes, because you can be miserable or you can be super comfortable.
All I remember is just being miserable when I was coaching because it was always freezing. But perhaps I've just colored it differently in my mind.
Well, here comes Garden Spot right down the sideline, just trying to tiptoe. And before she stepped out, it looked like a little bit of contact from Hess was called.
Hess was doing the right thing, trying to use that sideline as an extra defender. Nice transition into their offensive end for the Spartans there, right to Varley.
Yeah, Varley has it. Haven't said her name a whole lot lately, so we'll see if she can kind of get something going. Has a little bit of a one-on-one. There comes the double team.
Again, this Warwick defense, a ton of upperclassmen, just really hard to break through and find that seam. They've done it a few times tonight, but overall.
Oh, there's a lot of contact there. Varley went the whole way behind the net to come out in front and was met with a stick or two.
He does draw the foul. They have the initial stop.
Right here,
they take away the lane, and it's that last check, I think.
Well, Bartow got 2 people on that one. Restart for the Spartans, and that one is in the net. So a long drought, but finally Garden Spot gets on, and Varley has her second of the game.
Good opportunity there from Varley. Draws the foul. She's left of the center hash. Really strong take to cage, and a good placement on her part as well. Nobody's really putting it right in sticks, right in the chest pad. Everybody's making everybody move.
So you can see what Garden Spot can do if they get a little bit of room on offense with Varley and also with Moyer. Haven't had too many opportunities, though. That's kind of the issue here today, is that Warwick has been lights out from the draw control and then getting it down into the offensive half.
Yeah, unfortunately, Garden Spot just hasn't had – we're going to have a redraw here. Again, both of their arms have to go above their head. So you could see as soon as Petrelli came up and it was a little jam, I had a feeling we were going to have a redraw.
Well, you know, it's interesting. In the guys' game, they flinch the wrong way, and the ball gets given to one of the sides. So
well, and if they move, yes, they can be awarded possession. Ferris there and Petrella going at it. That's probably going to be in.
They were tied up there pretty good, and Petrella won it, it looks like.
Yep.
She'll dump it
I
off to
thought that
Bartow.
could have gone the other way. I thought she was going to call her for an empty, but it looks like Ferris might have had a little bit of a hold on it prior to.
Bartow taking
goodness.
another hit. Oh, that one puts her down on the turf a little bit longer that time. She has really, more than anyone on Warwick's team, really been met with some contact.
And
is that Lee again?
I think they're going to call. Yeah, and I think she was carded as well, so I think Garden Spot's now man down again.
Well, that was a lot of contact. You know, it does seem like Lee is their most aggressive defensive player, but at some point, I think the referees are going to try and put a stop to some of that.
From a defensive standpoint, it's tough, right? You want to take your space, but again, you cannot initiate the contact, right? So she's got to recognize that she's going to – Bartow's got the lane, and she's got to adjust accordingly. You can't just plant and hold.
Wow,
in that sense.
Bartow found a seam there that it didn't look like there was, but just bounces it off the keeper again. Watch this here. The keeper got the stick on it, and it ricochets home.
Yeah, I think she actually went off her chest pad or right off her shoulder, gets her body in front of it, unfortunately, not able to get it deflected wide enough.
That's 7 goals in the game for Bartow, which by my math gives her 30 on the season.
And looks like we had a bunch of the starters come out for Warwick.
Well, it's 17-4 with about 15, 16 minutes to go here. So not a bad time to start cycling in some new offensive players, although I do see a lot of familiar numbers out there on offense still with Shepard and Hess and Crawl, but maybe Bartow's night, or at least a big rest coming for her. Really good night for Julia Bartow, 7 goals.
Keeney's coming up with the draw control there for the Warriors, moves it into their offensive end.
Hess on the far side. She's had a couple of goals here.
You can see Warwick just really trying to pull space. Garden Spot's going to try to put some pressure on that ball carrier. Playing out much further than they normally would. Try to force a 50-50 ball at turnover.
Rothenberger in through traffic, shoots, blocked.
Nice save by Scarl.
Crawl has it, though, for Warwick. Tries to find a cutter. Nice job by the Garden Spot defense, though, to shut that down. Now they've got to get it up across midfield. Hess does not allow that.
Really good defense there from Hess. She read that pass, was right on it. As soon as she had possession, she checked it away.
Looks like one new number up front, number 30, Jill Doherty for the Warriors. Might have checked in for Bartow. Paige Shepard being very patient from behind.
And we're still trying to set some formations here. You can see them bunched on the left and right by the corners of the 8-meter.
Hess inside. A lot of defense crashed on her. Will the Spartans get it back?
Good recognition there from Garden Spot to collapse in on that. Hess was looking for a little bit of isolation up top. Everybody was wide, kind of creeping toward their 12 outside the 8.
Warwick has it here. That's Crawl. Over to Hess. Hanging out top here. No one has really attacked just yet for the Warriors. Ooh, back behind is Shepard. That one sneaks across the back line. So that's a bit of a mistake for the Warriors offense there, Shanna.
Well, and that's ultimately kind of why you're in these positions. You're trying to kill clock. This is what you're trying to practice. You know, the closer you get to postseason, the more you need to be ready at all times. And so that's a mental error. You know, you get to make in this moment. You may not get to make that against Cocalico on Wednesday night.
Turnover there by the Spartans. So Warwick back in control. Hess has it out top here. The number 17. We'll dump it off to Rothenberger. Under 13 to go in the game here. Controlled mostly from the onset by the Warriors. Jumped out to a 4-0 lead.
There again, you see another moment where Garden Spot initiates the contact. Referee immediately blows that whistle. Gotta let your attacker come to you.
Hess ran into some trouble there.
That was great defense from Moyer. Patient, arms were already extended, waited for the attacker to make the contact.
Hess gets by her, shoots, and scores. So nice patience there from Anna Hess. Was shut down, just ran it back, found a seam, puts one home. It's 18-4.
And one thing Warwick's done a great job tonight, I mean, they have a lot of speed in their attacking end. And so as soon as they feel that defender giving up their inside hip, they're taking off. And that's when they're really creating that advantage for themselves. And then it's one on keeper. And, you know, throwing a couple dodges in, a couple pump fakes, draw her out, make her commit to you, and use some finesse to pop it in behind her. Really well done.
To Hess's credit, there was a crowd of Spartan defenders there, so she did have to kind of find a seam to shoot and was able to score her third goal of the game. And we're restarting things.
50-50 ball inside, and there again is Crawl.
And she came crashing in and comes away with it. We'll take things all the way behind net. Quick pass in front, and there's a goal. And everyone's excited about that as the newcomer Doherty, another sophomore for this squad, puts one home. Might be her first goal of the season, by the way, at the varsity level.
Another great feed from Crawl, finds her inside. Lots of excitement there. We love to see it.
Do love to see that.
Sophomore getting on the field, getting some experience. We love that as well. Of course, Crawl, a fellow sophomore.
Yeah, there's a trio of sophomores here in Rothenberger and Crawl, and then their compadre there putting one home as well. So a nice piece. Petrella, who does the draw control, is a junior, so that'll be a nice option for them next year as well. But a whole host of seniors here that will be playing some of their final games as we come towards the end of the season.
At the middle of April, like, it blows my mind where ultimately this entire year has gone, and I can't.
I think Garden Spot only has 7 more games and Warwick only has 6 more.
Right,
so I mean, you just think
and those
about that,
happen in the span of 2 weeks, right? I mean, they're wrapping up regular season at the end of April, moving into the league playoffs first week of May, and then you move through district tournaments. So, of course, Coach Jean's mentioning at one point earlier this season, you know, the goal was to get to districts to get a win, and looks like they're putting the pieces together here at the end of the season. Oh, man.
Was that Varley off the post there?
Off the post, right back to her.
Didn't have the greatest angle there.
I'm not sure that was Varley, actually, now that I look at it.
Well, if we see it in a replay here in a minute, I thought it was the neon scrunchie.
Oh, yep, you're right.
Yep.
It was Ashcroft that picked up the rebound.
Any kind of flair you can give me as an announcer, I will take it. In front, and Varley goes down hard. She's really working in there.
Yeah, that was a dangerous check. You saw the referee. Well, you may not have actually seen it now that I'm thinking about it, but I saw the referee make the signal kind of into the sphere. Dangerous.
Varley, and she makes him pay. Add another one to Varley's total. That is 3 for her here tonight. 53 on the season for Gwen Varley. Certainly an all-star performing at our all-star levels.
I give her credit. I mean, she's really capitalizing anytime she's got those 8 meters. She does such a great job. Gets her stick up high, far post, good placement. Oh, right inside, far post. Really well done.
Number 3, Gwen Varley.
So Warwick, or rather Garden Spot, adds another one here to push it to 5, but it's just such a large lead for Warwick at this point at 19-5. Timeout on the field.
And it's not getting any warmer, Chad.
It's been like this all night, you know. It's like you can't tell that it's freezing cold and windy out here. This is like the new Calico out here, it feels, you know.
I'll tell you what, this is really, we've got some talent field vibes out here. Again, I'd just like to note I was only prepared for a press box. I did not know that Warwick has built a beautiful new turf stadium with lights. And so one of us perhaps was not prepared for the elements. Shout out to our crew who lovingly and willingly went to their cars to outfit me to stand at the Talent Field 2.0.
Yeah, really sorry that we dragged you out here for a below 7. Oh, man.
It's chilly, folks. It's chilly.
I felt guilty grabbing my winter coat for this tonight, but yeah, you went the extra level and wrapped yourself in a burrito.
And no regrets. No regrets.
Well, tomorrow night we are over at Ephrata. We'll get to see the Ephrata girls lacrosse team for the first time this season as they take on Cedar Crest. So be warned, it will be below 60, probably right
folks,
around.
You may see this blanket tomorrow as well.
Yeah. And then it's going to get a lot nicer throughout the course of the week then. At that point, 70s and 80s later in the week. But for now, we'll soldier on through. This is some lacrosse weather, some field hockey weather.
Oh, this is spring sports weather. I mean, like I said, I often ask myself why I coach spring sports for the extended time that I did, because it's so cold.
Yeah, well, especially when you start in March.
Yeah, like now to think of me having to tell myself I have to be outside every day for 3 hours for the next 3 months. No.
Yeah, and typically when we were playing in Pennsylvania, March, you easily could have had snow on the ground. We did not have any of that this year. But
I feel like for a good span of 5-7 years, we always had the big snowstorm the second week of March, which almost always aligned with the first week of season. And of course, this is now I'm really aging myself. When you played on grass and you had 6 inches of snow melting on your field, less than ideal. Now, of course, these beautiful turf stadiums, i.e. the one we're standing at this evening, not as much of a concern.
We won't see lacrosse on a non-turf field this year. So
that's crazy.
Yeah.
Sign of the times. Really nice pickup from Varley there off the draw.
There she comes down into the offensive zone for the Spartans. Under 9 to go here. Varley looking to add on. She's got 3 goals in the game. Moyer's got 2. That's your scoring for the Spartans, which is pretty typical of their season. Those are the 2 leading scorers on the team. Nowhere to go, though, for Varley. There was a white wall of shirts from the Warriors defense, so a nice job by them. And maybe some of it is just trying to get the ball out of the stick of Varley here, as a defender. She's less dangerous, not in possession of it.
Nice defense there.
Moyer popped out of her stick for a hot minute. There's Varley. Just keeps getting passed off by the Warwick defenders.
Again, really good defense from the Warriors, using their bodies to keep her outside.
Varley goes down, loses possession, whistle comes, backside ref says a push. Varley agrees. All right, an open lane here for Gwen Varley.
All the way at the far opposite side of the 8. Not a great angle. I think we're going to have another foul here, likely a dangerous.
Yeah, it did look like she had that
check
up around her head in the safe zone.
Well, she's doing the right thing, right? Because she's at a disadvantage being at the far side. Really nice shot.
Low shot, banks it home. Add another one for Gwen Varley. It's 6 goals for the Spartans. It's 4 for Varley tonight. She has been a bright spot for them all season, and we're seeing a little bit of that here where she really can attack and put the ball home.
Just great placement. This time she goes low. Look, from my angle at least, it looked like it might have been right between her legs. We'll see if we take another look at that, but just, here we go. I knew our crew was on it.
It's going to be tough. Maybe the backside angle will show us exactly if that is true.
But again, mixing it up, right? You can't get a beat on one player. She's got a bunch of different capabilities as far as placement goes, and she's done a great job of taking advantage of those moments when she's been in her offensive end.
So Warwick back in possession. It does look like Krull has been pulled off of the draw control circle area, so falling to other young ladies on the team now. Keeney being one of the major contributors right now.
Oh my goodness.
6 minutes to go in this game.
And it's a breezy.
And the clock continues to roll, thankfully.
No, and it's one thing to think about possession too, because you're not going to send up a floater for sure. You've got to find the right pass, maintain possession. Referee holding the whistle there, but eventually does make the call.
Rothenberger was attacking. Lots of contact from the defense. Still going here, under 6 now. We'll just work it back out to Hess. There was a cutter in the middle there, but couldn't quite find an angle with Lee all the way out. Dipped by her.
Hess
Nowhere
is
to
up
go.
pretty high. You're not going to send that ball low, especially with this wind.
That is true. That is a little bit of a factor here. We haven't, necessarily from a strategic point mentioned that tonight, but
Well, it hasn't
can
been
hear
as
it
bad
in-
as
yeah.
it is really just picked up in the past couple minutes. And obviously, if you're Warwick and you're maintaining possession, there's no sense in threading that pass.
Rothenberger right on net. Nice stop there from Garden Spot. Do finally shut down the shooting lanes. Kind of nonchalant there too, by the way.
Yeah, very, very casual save there from Scarl. And now, again, though, you make the stop, and that's difficult, but the clear is oftentimes even harder. Because you've got to find the right pass. You don't want to cause a turnover in the middle of the field. You can see Warwick really putting the pressure on.
Yeah, they're riding hard here on the defensive side. And that one trickled out of the stick. Here comes Warwick, though, the other way. So they did finally put enough pressure to cause that turnover, Shanna.
Well, and that's, the older you get, obviously, you work on your ride, which is essentially your counterattack to keep that ball in your offensive end. Goalkeepers, I believe, can hold it for 10 seconds inside the crease, then they move outside, and then eventually, it's a possession game, right? So if you send someone, you're opening up someone in the midfield.
Right.
And if you're a goalie, oftentimes you're trying to look for that quick outlet pass, catch them in the counterattack, give yourself an advantage numbers upfield. The longer it goes, in general, the harder it is to work that ball upfield.
Loose ball on the turf right here. Keeney has it, dumps it into Hess. Right on net, it bings around the post. Might have got a triple. Well, we'll just go with the goal there. It clanged off each post.
Well, and I think Scarl might have made the initial stop and deflected it off of her boot. And essentially, it goes right off the post into the cage. She gets her stick down, puts her body in front of it, but the deflection's not wide enough.
So that's 4 for Hess in the ball game. She's really come on here later half of this game and is now talking to Coach Jeans on the sideline. But they've had a few young ladies tonight that have really done a nice job, and Hess, certainly Bardo. Crawl flashed early. They didn't need her much after that, and a little bit contributing from Paige Shepard as well. Loose ball here. No one's able to track it down as they head for the sideline. Oh, and that was quite a push there from Moyer. She knows it. That was dangerous.
I think that's Moyer's second yellow, which
coming right at you. Oof.
I think upgrades to a red. She might be done for the night. Only 250 left, but if I recall, 2 yellows means you're out for the game.
Not sure if that was more frustration or opportunity, but Moyer unfortunately sent Warwick's Grace Rothenberg kind of flying there from the behind angle. So Rothenberger will restart things with 2.5 to go. We are ticking down towards the end of this contest. A great showing from the Warwick Warriors. By the way, with the 20 goals, kind of the same range for them from last time. They had 19 in the first meeting, so they clearly know kind of what to expect here against this Garden Spot team. Have performed very similarly in both games and will be coming away with wins in both games.
And offensively tonight, they always looked very composed. There was never really a reason a moment they were flustered. Super methodical on offense, making the right choices, not forcing anything.
Well, the real test will come on Wednesday for the Warriors as they get to match up with Kikalico one more time on the road. Lost that one 11-10, and it was one of those contests where it was like a 1-2 goal deficit that they really wish they could have controlled, and we'll see how they adapt to that. And as another player is down, a whistle comes. Might have been a bit of a high stick hit there.
I think it was definitely incidental. I think they were going for the shot on goal. They thought that they had the stick, the ball in their stick, and oh my goodness, that was a lot of contact. He'll have a card there as well.
Another card coming for Garden Spot.
Yeah, they're definitely going to call that a dangerous propel. The training staffs or coaches are out on the field.
So the clock does stop with 1:30 for the injury.
And I think since training staff has come out, it looks like she might be bleeding.
Yeah, I was going to say, I
She's
was
gotta
looking
leave the
for
field.
some blood, perhaps, caught a stick up high, which is never great. Not a lot of protection up towards the head level for the girls' game. Certainly not like the guys have with the helmets, correct? So restart here.
Garden Spot down now 2 players. They have a double card.
Yeah, typically that would be real concerns for them, but we are almost down under a minute to go here before things conclude.
And I, to be frank, have not been keeping track of the yellow cards. At a certain number, you're down a player for the rest of the game, and with each card that is given.
I don't know if it's more than 4 or 5 for Garden Spot tonight. 1 on defense. That one right there. Moyer's got 2.
Under a minute to play. Warwick's just going to look to possess here. A little bit of contact.
Yeah, whistle blown as Doherty was attacking.
Again, you're going to look to see Warwick really spread the field. No, card releases, so again, Moyer is done for the evening, I believe. They had someone else come in place of her, but Garden Spot will be down a player for the remainder of the game as Warwick just looks to possess. Obviously, a lot of momentum heading into a big week for them.
Oh, a lot of contact on the sideline there. I'm not sure Garden Spot knew they were running out of room with that sideline, but nonetheless, the contact came and the whistle was blown. Final seconds here of this contest. A big win for the Warriors. 20-6 margin for them. They'll add it to their season record and will move to 4-7 overall, 3-4 in Section 2. Garden Spot will drop to 2-9 overall. Shanna, your first look at girls lacrosse on the channel. How did it feel to be back in action? In general, what impressed you from Warwick?
Well, I'm not warm, but it is spring sports. Warwick, again, I mean, offensively, just the way that they moved the ball. I mean, they were so precise on offense and the placement. I mean, they were really putting the ball in places that were tough to make saves. If they continue to shoot like that the rest of the season, as we talked to Jeans before the game, they're going to start to see those 1-2 goal deficits go their way. He talked about capitalizing. And Garden Spot, again, I mean, every week they make progress, right? First-year head coach a week before the season starts, that's a really tough obstacle to overcome before you even step foot on the field. And she's got a really strong core of underclassmen. They're getting some really good experience, so the future is certainly bright there.
A 20-6 win for Warwick. They have 6 more games left in the season. Garden Spot has 7 more. That'll wrap up our coverage of high school girls lacrosse on Blue Ridge at 11 tonight. We'll be over in Ephrata tomorrow at 7 o'clock. That is Tuesday. Join us for that. Shanna and I will be back there again. Busy week for us on Blue Ridge 11. Tune in all week long. But for now, from my partner Shanna Miscavige, our entire Blue Ridge 11 crew, I am Chad Landers saying so long from Linnets. We will see you for more action tomorrow night on Blue Ridge 11.